Hey guys, welcome back to Whirlwind Family Farm. One of the things I talked about when I first introduced this channel is I said, hey, yes, we want to look at farming, market gardening techniques, and that's very important and one of the things that's a big interest to me. And I also said, life is not just one-dimensional. There's a lot of different things that we enjoy doing and seeing and learning about. So that's what we're going to do today. My youngest son, Ben, is here. He just had an interesting purchase of a new vehicle. So let's go out and take a look at that. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think this thing's pretty cool. Let's go see. Guys, I talked about on Whirlwind Family Farm, we're going to look at a lot of different subjects. Recently talked about carrots, but as I promised, we're going to look at life a little bit differently on this show. Now, what you're looking at here is a sports car that I'm not real familiar with. I don't think you see many of them on the road. And from what I understand, they may be difficult to find. But to look, let's talk to the owner. This is my youngest son, Ben. Hey, Ben, how's it going?
Good. So it's a little covered in dirt and bugs, but I think I hit about 20 million of them on the way up here. But, yeah, this is the 2023 Subaru GR86. Of course, this is the new generation. They started it in 2022. So now I just bought this about a month ago, a little less than a month ago. And so you can actually start to get the 2024s now, but I actually kind of preferred this one a little bit, and maybe I'll go into that a bit later. But
Gotcha. So Ben, you said this is a 2023.
Correct.
And so tell me, you say this, I look at the badge here, this is a Toyota, but actually it's very similar, I understand, similar to the BRZ Subaru.
If you look at the key fob, if anyone has a Subaru, you can see Subaru key fob with a Toyota symbol on it, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So if you ever see somebody with the Subaru key fob and a Toyota badge, you know exactly what car it is. It's a GR86.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's look at the line of this while Ben's walking. Let's just look at the cool. That is a nice looking, low profile, very aerodynamic. Again, I don't know a lot about cars, but I know this definitely looks cool.
Yeah, so this is the premium trim level, which gives it the black alloy wheels and this extra stuck-on ducktail here.
Gotcha. I'm getting close and looking.
And yeah, for this generation, something that's new for this generation is they added a little bit of actual aero here. So these, which is, I mean, I'm not sure they do that much, but this is actually, there's, as you can see, that goes all the way through. You can see the light through those. So the air will actually come through here, go over the wheel and out there, and produce just a little bit of downforce because of the low pressure.
Very, very nice. And Ben, and again, I'm showing a little bit of my lack of education in cars here. Four-wheel disc brakes, obviously.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about the horsepower of this.
So it's 226 and about the same torque. It produces that from 2.4 liters of boxer, flat 4 engine. The exact same engine that Subaru now uses for every single vehicle they make, but of course tuned a lot faster than that.
And for those of you out there, 205, you hear all these ridiculous numbers that these cars have now, 4 or 5, but 226, and this thing only weighs
about 2,800 pounds.
Wow, so that's a lot of horsepower moving around, not a lot of weight.
In perspective, this is about 500 pounds lighter than a WRX, a Subaru WRX.
Gotcha. Great. Well, and as far as, because everybody's always concerned about economics, what kind of gas mileage do you get with it?
Yeah, I see about 25 miles to the gallon. Now, I think if I drove this more conservatively, I could definitely get better.
Right.
But, it's hard not to, rev it to the limiter before every shift. When you have a car like this, that's the whole point of it. Sure. And it revs up to, I think, 7,500. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing that, for those of you that maybe have never driven a standard or a stick shift, this is a 6-speed, right?
Correct. 6-speed manual rear-wheel drive.
Rear-wheel drive, which is not
common.
Not common today.
That was one of the things that drew me to this car. Really, if you want a rear-wheel drive Japanese sports car, like there used to be 1,000 of those.
Sure.
There's only 2 options now, and that's this or the Miata.
Gotcha. Well, it's definitely cool. Love the color of it.
Well, or the BRZ, of course.
The BRZ, yes.
Which is the same car.
And maybe I'm repeating myself here, but these actually come off the same line, the
They
BRZ.
do, yeah. And
So
I can,
let's take a quick.
Here, let me show
Oh
you.
yeah, let's take a look at the engine.
And I can prove it that they come off the same line.
Okay. Let's take a quick look at that.
Because of course, right there, Subaru on the engine.
How about that? Look at that. Toyota on top, C45 Boxster, and Subaru right underneath it. So that's incredible. Not many people would know that. I didn't know that. And like you say, when you look at the front of it, again, I'm not a car expert, but it has a little bit of that Lexus, which is that Toyota. So you see that grille, that heritage there, maybe a little bit. And just absolutely very streamlined, very aerodynamic, just beautiful lines. Can we take just a quick look at it?
Yeah,
inside. Cool. This is again, that's the fun of life, is looking at different things and hobbies and things you enjoy. But as I look at this, wow, love the seats. Look at those nice kind of contours of the body really well. And again, you can see the 6-speed manual.
Something else.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Ben.
Something else in this vehicle that you don't get is an actual emergency brake there.
Yes.
That you pull with your hand and it does what you think it does. Unlike,
Right.
I can appreciate the electric ones because they can turn themselves on and off, and that's kind of nice. But it's also really nice to just have something where you pull a lever and it does a thing, rather without a computer having to tell you, no, actually you can't do that right now.
Right. And one of the things I'm noticing, yes, this is a sports car, and yes, it is sporty, and yes, it's low to the ground. But if I look, you got a little bit of room here. You got a back seat.
Yeah, and I can.
So you could get what, four adults in here, I'm thinking.
Well, not adults.
but you could get 4 people in here.
You could get 2 adults and
a nice sized dog.
Maybe some smaller kids, or maybe 1 more adult. I have gotten in the back of this car once, and if you look right here, you can see the foot room there.
Right. So that's a tight. That's a tight area. Yeah.
Just a little tight, and I've got that seat way far forward as well.
Sure.
So,
well,
but that's honestly one of the major things that made me choose this vehicle over the MX-5, the Miata.
Right.
Is because,
and that's a cool car. No,
absolutely.
No, the MX-5 is just beautiful, but this has a look about it that just, let's face it, it screams sports car.
Yeah, this has more power. It's got the rear seats, which you can fold down, and you can have enough room to carry as much stuff as you want.
Right.
Whereas a Miata, you have enough room for maybe a laptop bag.
And I have one more question after we kind of did and looked around the car, is why a car like this? Why did you do something that's a little different?
Yeah, so my philosophy, well, I'm really purchasing anything, but particularly a car is, I think that people should, you can get whatever you want, obviously, get what it's your money, but I think people should buy a vehicle that does their main use case really well. So people will buy an SUV or a truck and then drive it back and forth to their job in downtown Austin.
Right.
And that's just, it's not going to feel good to drive because you're way up off the ground and you have way too much car, and you may get some use out of it occasionally.
Yes.
But I tend to think, well, why don't I just maximize what I'm going to be using it for on a daily basis, which is driving in my case.
Yes.
Now, my wife's car is a Subaru Impreza, super practical.
Yes.
It's all-wheel drive's got loads of room. So that kind of frees us up where we don't need another car that's practical. This is, it's decently practical. You can fit an okay amount of stuff in this car. It's not like a Miata, like I mentioned, but this is just here to get me from point A to point B and really do a great job of it. I can have a great time every time I get in this car.
Yes.
Because you know what? My wife loves being driven around, and I really don't mind doing it if I'm driving this car.
Totally get it. A lot of people don't like to be the driver. I know I like being the driver, but some people are like, hey, you take the wheel, let me relax. And Ben, I got to tell you, that fits into this channel so well. And I'm so glad you said that, because when I introduced this channel, I said, life doesn't always have to be a drudgery. Life doesn't always, there's a lot of things we have to do that are a grind, looking for after our family, earning our living, doing our work every day. But we can find those things in this life where we're helping other people, being kind, and at the same time finding that joy in what we're doing. And you described that perfectly, is that why does it always have to be practical?
Right.
Why does it always have to be that utility vehicle?
Right.
When every time you get in here, it's a fun experience.
Exactly.
You're not just going, hey, I've got a transportation that's going to get me point A to point B. I'm having a little bit of joy, a little bit of fun and excitement getting to and from point. It's the journey.
Exactly.
It's the journey.
And I will say, like, obviously this is a pretty affordable car. It's
Right.
It's just around $31,000. And
So
that's,
this is not like going out and being very, and nothing against if you can afford a Porsche.
no,
Wonderful,
not.
wonderful. You
Yeah.
can afford one. But for those out there go, I'd like to have something fun and sporty. I'm not going to leverage the house and the kids on buying a car. This is that car. You've got that excitement. You've got that fun. You got that power, and you've got that look. So
And Japanese built in Japan. So
Yes.
you'll know, well, should last if you take care of it.
absolutely. No, they definitely make a good quality product. Ben, thank you again. That's such a part of what this channel is about, is getting the most out of life. Let's don't have drudgery in everything we do. Life's too short to waste it on just not getting the most out of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ben, thank you again. That is awesome. I got to tell you, I'm actually a little bit jealous. I'm actually a lot jealous. Anyway, guys, thanks, and we'll wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, getting to see Ben's new Toyota 86. Very cool. We want to continue to have different things, interests, likes. Life's one of those things where you just don't want to waste a day not enjoying something cool, a part of your life, and that's what we hope we brought you today. So thanks again. Like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe, and of course hit that bell for notifications, because we're going to have new content coming your way. Thanks again. See you soon.